I once saw a German movie called Sophie Scholl, The Final Days. Her and her brother, along with some friends of theirs, were students at a university, and at the same time, they had their own secret protest going about what Adolf Hitler was doing to Germany. They printed and distributed pamphlets to the students and local people to let them know that their views about the Nazi takeover, they were both caught passing out these messages while they were on the campus. The Nazi Gestapo put them through a long interrogation. They soon found themselves guilty of treason because they were writing about peace and freedom as opposed to the brutal massacring of millions of innocent people in the name of the Third Reich. In a way, I am doing the same thing with my new books, only more so, and letting this little planet know about self-real freedom, as opposed to the implied and marketed illusionary freedom of this world. The very same people and ideas that financed Adolf Hitler are the ones still heading what is taking place today. I am not holding back when I say that there is a huge conspiracy that has been created and was started many lifetimes ago by the darkest of souls, and now holds the sittings to all the gutless puppets who occupy the ruling positions of most world governments. Most of the world dictators, as there is no real leaders in any political or religious office, have been brought up by those who control the monastery system. And it certainly is not the U.S. Treasury, because they have been taken over since 1913, and even before that. I think that's pretty amazing. We certainly are being controlled, and we'll want to listen, or want to take the time to see what's really going on. All these nice things, are they really nice? It's very important that each person learn about their dream visions and all that is taking place in this world now, because most people are very trapped subliminally without their knowledge of being so. So what is taking place? As I have said many times, the matrix dream and a certain few, the elite world controllers, have most of the population believing they are the ones, like the president and the Pope, everyone needs to look to for their supposed salvation, as they proclaim, "In God we trust." While Miss Sophie was imprisoned by the Gestapo, she would look out the window and stare at the sun in the sky, as the sun represents the all is on the earth. She was not aware of the true reality at the time, but her heart knew something more real existed. When Sophie and her brother were tried and convicted by the malignant politicians who sentenced them, as she walked out to be executed, she said to her brother, "The sun is still shining." Nature holds a very vital key for each one of us to eventually recognize and realize the true reality. For the most part, The technology of today is part of a ploy to keep people as slaves. And only a few will discover the real freedom now. And it will only come to be when a person is willing to totally listen and be shown what is real now by the real universal guides.
Thank you, Lila. Lila, let's introduce our new friend here, Aryana. I see that she's on. She may be a regular now from now on the show. And she's from Southern California. And maybe you'd like to introduce
her. Wonderful. Hello, Aryana.
Hello, Lila. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. And it's
good.
Wonderful. Oh, it's wonderful to have you on. We're just absolutely thrilled.
Thank you so much.
I've been reading, from book 6 of Dwayne's Dream Visions, and now we're up. Did you hear what I read about the All Is?
I came in a few minutes late. I was hearing about the young couple in Germany.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm at now, and so they finally, from distributing those pamphlets around the campus, they got put in jail and interrogated, and finally they were executed because of the Nazi party. Nobody's going to get a word in edgewise. They were taken over, So that was their fate. And it's a shame, People come to be a person that is willing and totally listen to be shown what is real now and the real universal guides. People don't want to believe that. Anyway, so tell me about yourself, Aryana.
Not much to tell.
Oh, come on now. You're on guest tonight. Tell us something.
I'm retired, and I live in a small apartment, and I have 3 little birds for company, and I don't do too much lately. All this pollution has affected my lungs, but I'm getting better, and listening to what you were saying, I think a lot of people today are afraid to speak up.
Yeah, it's that way. People they use intimidation. They use, they make fun of people, especially the conspiracy theorists, so-called conspiracy theorists. They have a certain label these days. So you're not really cool if you're a conspiracy theorist among most normal circles. So that's where the elites got people. They've done a social engineering on people so that they don't want to investigate more. They say that's a conspiracy. That stops right there. That means it's not valid. Or there's no value in it. Let's go on with our daily lives. They don't want to even investigate further. So they've done a good job, the elites have, in terms of conditioning people. But people are waking up, especially what we're doing here. And we're very real in terms of what we're presenting, and it's basically the real education and real guidance for people to have the opportunity to wake up more and have a better position with life.
Right, and like what Dwayne was saying, we need to focus on the positive, the building things.
Yeah, it just makes sense that, and we're often accused of being negative, but actually we're just telling it like it is, and then they label it as something other than what it is, which is either good or bad. But it's just, these things are happening. We're aware of them, and we're sharing what's going on with people, and they can take it for what it's worth. But it's a challenge for us because people aren't relating to anything we're saying. So how do we bring it down to what they can relate to? And one of the things we're doing is with the environment. The world is dying, it's being poisoned, so people, somewhat can relate to that. I mean, not even that is relatable to a lot of people, but some people see the food and the air and the water being poisoned, and they have a concern, real concern for it, and that's where we come in. They say, what can I do? Well, you can become more aware. That's big,
Well, that question comes up a lot. What can I do? They see the chemtrails and they see the HMO,
GMO.
So what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, just little things, I think, like cleaning up the beaches. Some people do that all the time. That's wonderful. I think little things, and then if you want to take the next step up, start reading the books that Dwayne has, and when you can see it, what's really happening, I think you'll take action. You'll start telling the friends about what's going on. They may not believe you, but so what? It's a challenge just to even bring this information and this wonderfulness to people. It's a challenge, and it's a great thing. It's great to do it.
Tim, what can we do?
The main thing seems to be, from my viewpoint, is, like Lila was just reading what Dwayne said about nobody's getting out of this psych realm stuff without the real guides. So the real presentation, presenting it to others, is much more important than anything like that we do about cleaning up beaches or trying to purify the water or anything like that. Those that have gone through enough lifetimes and get to the point where their heart is pure and sincere and humble, and it's real important to give them the opportunity to get to have the chance to test the new you that's being offered, to connect them to the real guides so that they can get out of this psych realm stuff that they've been through maybe a million lifetimes. Like Dwayne himself says in Nubook 2, it was over 1 million lifetimes for him. And some of the other real guides have had to go through over 1 million lifetimes. Well, it's hard for our human minds to even try to comprehend thousands, let alone millions of lifetimes of experiences to get to the point where we have the opportunity to get out of the psych realms when we've learned our lessons, or however this stuff is made for us to experience. But the main thing is to share this new presentation, is the way I see it, to get connected to the real guides through the new you song and the as a beginning, and then like these books show so much, reveal so much about what's really going on that makes sense.
Well, Dwayne,
Right.
Aryana, what do you say about this?
I say Tim's right. We need to focus on the all is first and put the rest in behind it, because people can see that there's problems going on, and everybody has a busy life. And I've seen myself, people go to the other side and they're still unconscious. Then they have to come back and they forget. And so we need to focus on the all is. Dwayne said that's what saved him when he almost died in the hospital. He focused constantly on the all is. So, yeah, presenting it is extremely important. I want to focus on doing that now. It's hard. A lot of people presenting the all is, the universal university, the new school, homeschool, all solar research vessel. At least let people know and let them know about the new you. So I have an idea in the back of my head.
Good, Aryana. What's that idea? Tell us.
Okay, well, I spoke to Val when he stopped over here, and he mentioned that there are some CDs. They don't have videos, but they have CDs. So I'm thinking of getting a boombox. And we have recreation rooms here where I live, and maybe I can play it in there, and maybe some people will come in and listen. I could put a note on the bulletin board. I don't know if you even have to ask permission to the management. People go in there and play games. So I could probably just do that.
I wouldn't ask permission. Just do it.
Right. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I've been saving pictures on my phone that Ava has created, and I think I'll get some of those printed out in legal-sized paper if I can, and have those, either pass them out or hold them up, whatever. Oh, and
sounds
off
like
of
a
the
good
CD,
idea.
Yeah, this boombox I'm interested in, you can play a CD and you can tape it on a cassette, and that way I could hand people cassettes.
Do you have any pictures of Rebazar that you could leave laying around?
On my phone, I'm going to try to get over to the stationery store and get some printed out. I think I can do that.
I remember Dwayne saying that, like, Ava's pictures are represent like thousands of words just in those pictures.
Really? Wow. Maybe it's deeper than words. Maybe they're ideas or something.
Well, the real guides are...
There?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The real guides are presenting it to people that are ready. So when they have the opportunity, they can decide for themselves to test it and see what life shows them.
That's right. They need the opportunity now. There's not too many of us yet, and there's others probably waiting, looking, searching. They don't know.
Like we probably were last life and the lives before.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, everybody on the earth has been contacted already by the real guides. So it's just a matter of, like, them recognizing. Yeah, I heard that. Dwayne said that everybody's been contacted. But it's a matter of now recognition. They have to recognize to move forward. To especially if they do see a picture of Rebazar or do come across a new presentation, something will trigger within them and they will have the opportunity to see more. To see if they want to decide to see more and create an intent to go further than their personal self, because everybody's basically into their personal self. So everybody has it down there in the basic subconscious. It's there. It's like a seed planted. Now it's like we're out there doing the footwork, providing the images and the shows like this one, Facebook, the social media, and all that, and then the humanitarian projects, and then people, once they get, they see it, something within them just might get triggered, and they'll have a recognition, and that's the key here, recognition, and then they can develop that recognition to see the isness